Okay, so we'll continue from where we left. Okay, we are still talking about methods, okay, in string, right? We did discuss few methods. We did is method, right? Is lower, is upper, is digit, is unknown, right? Then we did some basic functions where we converted lowercase to like everything to lowercase, uppercase, title case, right? We did count, right? We did find. We also have something called as split and join. Okay, so you can split a given sentence into words and you can join them together. Okay. Um, yeah, and then the last one we'll do is find and replace. Okay, so these are the methods that are left. So let's see. So let's say if I declare a string one as um, hello, how are you doing today? Okay, let's say this is your string. Now I need to split it. So how do I split it? I will say str1 dot split. Okay. Now, when I click split, it returns the value, isn't it? So I will say, okay, I will say var1 equal to, let's say, var1. So now let's see the output of var1. Print. The reason I said var1, not string2 or anything like string is because this does not give you a string. Okay. This is going to give us list, which is our next topic. Okay. So you see what it did. Okay. For a second, you forget the square bracket. Okay. Just forget the square bracket. So it has, okay, it has created new text. Correct? So based on the space, right, everything up to the space is taken as one. Then that space to next space is your second string, right? So this is one string. How do you know it's a string? It is in quotation, right? So it is a string. It is a string. But what square bracket is doing is creating a collection of string. Okay, so multiple strings are put together as one variable. That's what square bracket does. Okay, we call it as list. We'll discuss in some time. So this is how you can break a sentence into words. Now, if you want to break a sentence not on, let's say, space, on something else. Okay, so I want to break on, let's say, O. Then I will pass O as parameter. If I don't pass anything inside, it means by default it's going to take space, blank space. If you want it to break on some specific character, then you pass the character. It need not be one character, it can be combine multiple characters also. You can say O space or O something, right? And this is useful when you have a CSV files where it could be comma, which is separating, or it could be any character which is separating. Now you see this. I said O, so O is taken as the separator, correct? So you have hell as the first word. Then this goes away, right? Because this is the separator. This goes away. So the output will be space H. Next one is space H. Then W until next O. W space R space Y. Then from U to D. Then ing space T. And then D. You might have text, and generally when you deal with CSV files, you might have text like first data, let's say 1, and then it could be comma, it could be, pipe, it could be anything, right? So here, let's say I say Sachin, then comma space. Here, let's say there are two separators, right? right? Comma, pipe, to separator. Let's say I put something like this. Now, if I have to break, I can say string to dot split, and I will give comma and pipe because that's the separator. You see, you got separate values. We will see how to read them, into each individual values, okay, in the next topic. So this is how you can split. Now, if you can split, you should be able to join also, isn't it? So let me call this as var1, var2, and this one as var3. We will use var1, var2, var3 to join.
Basically, what it's doing is to do
Separating a sentence into words, one single
yeah.
string into multiple strings.
And whatever you give that as a keyword, right? It delimits that. Basically, it's kind of a delimiting in an Excel file, right? How
Right,
it does.
right,
Yeah.
right. So
Right.
I gave space as separated, so it is separating based on the space. Here I
Yeah.
gave O, so it is separating on O. Everything until O is one word. From O to next O is another word. From that O to another O is another word.
Yeah. So one thing I didn't like is it omits or it eliminates the O itself.
Of course, right? If I tell you, break this into words, so do you include space also as word?
Yeah, I think logically,
No, I'm asking you.
yeah,
You
space
know,
would not
right?
be one.
So
Yeah.
then, okay. See, separator, you know. Now come back to, forget about English. You talk about when you deal with files. When you say comma separated files, do you include comma also as a word?
This makes sense. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it is one only. It is not one comma, right?
So that means
Comma is
Python
only
is
to
more
separate
capable.
your different words.
Yeah.
Comma is there only to separate your different words or text, right? Now let's say, uh,
Sounds
right, you need some marking. You need something to divide the word. The division is like when you have boundary wall between your home and next person's home. The boundary wall is not yours. That's a common. You cannot say that boundary wall is included in my
yeah,
area,
it should be part. I got it. I got it. Yeah. I
right?
think what it has the capability, right? You give any letter or anything, it will spread. So
Anything, yeah.
good thing.
You define it here. If you do
Yeah.
not, then it will take space. By default, it is space. Otherwise, you define whichever word you want to put.
So does it have like in two separate words, like each letter can I pick it and then split? I don't think it will happen like
No,
that, right?
no, no.
It should be in combined.
In
Yeah.
one sentence, in one at a time, you only have only one set of separator.
Got it. Yeah. That makes sense as well.
Right? Yeah.
Sounds good.
Perfect. Okay. So this is how you separate them. Now I want to join them. Now join, okay. So since join is a string method, okay, I need to put blank string, okay, and then I'll say dot. You get join. Join what? Let's first try to join var1. Okay, so join var1. Okay, now I can call this as, let's say, string 11. Okay, now you print string 11 equal to string 11. You run it. To see, hello, how are you doing today? Right? It has clubbed them together. Now you want to have space between them, right? So instead of giving blank text, you give space. So whatever you give here, that will be taken as joining character. So here, if you give one single space, see, exactly what you gave earlier, you got it. Right? Similarly, if you want to do it for other one, So if I don't do this and okay, not this. So let's do it. Here it's var2, right? Okay, let's not give anything. So your string 11 in this case is going to be hell because O is missing.
Yeah, I was missing.
So
Yeah.
you give O here. Now you get what you want.
That's good. So one thing, right, Sapnil, by default it splits on the space,
Yes.
right? That's good. But in the variable two, right, we had space as well as the O. So it was smart enough to pick up that, right?
No.
Like
Sorry. What did you say? I missed that.
like in the variable two, the we did the split based on the O, right?
Correct.
Correct. And in the
It's only
string,
O. There's no space. It's only O.
oh, it was only O. Okay.
Okay, there's no space. It's only O.
Oh, because you use the same string one again, is it? That's the reason?
Yeah, this is string one, correct?
Got it. Yeah.
So string one is not changed. String one will remain as it is,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
They're not changing the main text. String one is
I got it. Okay.
right. Yes.
So
And
the O is still there in the variable too, right? The space is still there. Like it has a space as well. If
yeah.
you see
So
the
that's why.
outside,
Okay,
yeah,
so that's why if you do this, right? If I don't give O here,
then it will do it on the space. Is
yeah,
it?
so space is there. Space is like adding the character,
Yeah.
right?
That's good one. Yeah.
Now let's say I want to join this var3. Okay, so I'll put var3 here and let me print it here. Now var3, okay, again you have this one Sachin Mumbai Cricket. I want to join them using double hyphen, not comma pipe. So now you get single word with double hyphen, right? You can choose what you want to join the words between. By default, okay, it's like whatever you give. So if you don't give
Yeah.
anything, you will not use any other divider.
Swapnil, that's a good one. So you did the hyphen two, okay, two letters. Is it because we had
I wanted it to be like two hyphen, right? Maybe the
okay.
system I have designed, okay, the application which I have designed uses two hyphen as uh, a separator.
Was it because the split we did with the two letter, it's logically better to have that logically makes sense, right? The
Hmm.
join. What if I use only one? Will there be a replacement of either comma? I'm just thinking out loud. Sorry on that.
No problem.
So maybe one letter will come. So for example, if I want string 11, right? So then you can just put only one hyphen.
So you'll get only one hyphen.
Okay.
So you'll have only
And
one hyphen separating these two words. Join is not related to split. Split is
split.
separate,
Oh,
join
okay.
is separate.
Okay. Oh, those are independent. Okay. Sure. I'll try it. Thanks.
No problem. Okay. Okay. So last set of operations that we're going to talk about, they're called replace and find. Okay. So this should be able to replace anything. So let me take same set of, I'll move this first. Same variable. Now, let's say I want to replace O with something else. Okay. So again, I have to create new string, right? Because strings are immutable. You can't change string one. So I'll say string one dot replace. Now you see, replace has, I told you to ignore self. Okay. We'll talk about it when we go to object discussion. So you have old, new, and count. Old is the old value which you want to replace with the new value. The new value will replace the old value. Count is how many occurrences. Okay. Now I want to replace, okay, O with, let's say, triple O. Okay. And I want to replace all of them. So if you want to replace all of them, then you don't have to, then you don't have to mention how many occurrences.
Count. Oh,
Okay.
how many count you have to replace?
Yeah.
So it was from the left, right? To replace.
Yes.
Awesome.
Okay. So you have all O's getting replaced. Okay. Now I want to replace maybe only 3. So I hope you have, yeah, more than 3. Yeah. So first 3 got replaced, others are not even touched. Right? Okay. Then, so there's a question, I think, in one of your assignment that when you say 3, it should replace second, third, and fourth, not first one. So I have to apply some extra lines of code before you do that. Okay, try doing it. So you have something called as find, right? I want to find if a certain character is there or not. So, I cannot say replace Z, right? Okay, because Z is not there. So before you replace Z, you need to check if Z is in the string or not. So let's say I say CNT, which is count equal to string 1 dot find. So you have find and count. Count will tell you how many Z are there, okay, or how many characters are there. This is count. Number of Z in string 1 equal to CNT, okay, and find okay, then you have string 1 dot find. So see, find says, okay, sub, that is substring, which string you want to find, and start and end. By default, start and end is from beginning till the end. So I say find Z. Okay, and now I will say Z in the string 1 found at. Okay, we'll go one by one. Hold on. Okay, let's run this. So how many Z is there? You got no Z, right? There's no Z here. So see, number of Z, which is using count. Count will count the number of substring in the main string, right? So there is no, there is no Z, so you got 0 here. Okay. Now find will tell you the position of Z. So obviously, if it is 0, then you should not be doing find or replace. Right? Find and replace should be done only if the Z is there, right? Or the substring is there. I cannot replace, O with triple O if O is not there, right? So that's why you can do the count before doing the replace. And this position will tell you at what position the Z is, if it is there, right? If it is -1 indicates it's not there, right? So what I can do here is if find count equal to -1, then given substring is not in the main string. Okay. And then, oh, sorry. And then I'll say else. That means it's not -1, it's something else. Okay, it's some positive value. So instead of Z, I will say substring because we will see, okay, output by changing different values here. Okay, so substring in the string one found at. In this case, obviously Z is not there. So you will say not in the main string. Now, if I change it to O, okay, so see, this is the main string. So this is position 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's why you got 4. The position of first occurrence, right? You may have multiple O's, but I am interested only in one O. If I'm interested in only one O, when you found, okay, you will stop searching for the rest. Okay. Now, you can even give multiple characters. I want to find OW. Now, when you say OW, okay, so it starts with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, it's not there, right? This is not the one that we want. 5, 6, 7, and 8. You see, 7, 8 is matching. So 7, because that's the starting position of match, right? So you got 7 here. Okay. So you can have multiple string. Now you can also have okay. Let's do this. Now I said, let's say O, right? So O will be 4, correct? Now I don't want the first occurrence. I want the second occurrence. Okay. So here starting point, I'll put 5. Okay. Now when I put 5, okay, I'm saying after 5. After 5, find me the value. So after 5, so so it's going to start counting here. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What did I say? 5, correct. So till here I don't want. From here, you're looking for O. So H is 6 and this is 7. That's how you got 7. Okay, you can even give ending value. I want to find O between 5 and 6. -1. Because there is no O between 5 and 6. Okay, so find will tell you the position of first match. Okay, you can have start and end. Then count will tell you how many occurrences of value is in the entire main string. Replace will replace the old value with new string. Make sense, guys? So with that, we complete our string discussion. Okay. All good?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. So now let's spend some time trying to understand what list is. Okay. So list is called collection. Collection means it will have multiple values put together, right? So it will have more than one values. We saw an example there, right? Each of the words in the sentence got splitted and formed as a list. So list is just putting multiple values together. It's called collection, right? It's a linear collection. Okay, it's one-dimensional linear collection. Okay, we say linear mutable collection. Mutable means you can change the value, you can edit the values in the list. In string, we could not do. We could not edit the values, right? List you can. So it's called linear mutable collection. It is also called as linear ordered mutable collection. Each of the member of the list will have order, will have position. Okay, they will be in order. So it is one dimensional. Each of the member will have order. You can change the value, and obviously it's a collection. So let's see an example here. So when I say L1 equal to, now how do you define this collection? You define this collection using square bracket. We have seen indexing is done using square bracket, correct? In string, we did indexing using square bracket. In fact, indexing of list is also done using square bracket. So this is second application of square bracket. Now, how do you know the square bracket is for list or for indexing? Indexing will always have a variable name here, right? So if I say str1 of bracket, it is indexing. But here you see, it is independent. There is nothing before the square bracket. That means we are defining a list. If you want to see, you can say print type of L1 equal to, okay, type of L1. Okay, so now when you run it, you see it says class list. This is how list is defined. Obviously, we have not added any member. So if I say number of members in the list equal to, you say len of. We have seen len, right? In string also. So len of L1. Okay, so it says 0 because we have not added any members to the list. Now you can add members to the list using comma. So I want to add 55. Okay, I want to add hello. I want to add false. Okay, it need not be of same data type. It can be of all the 5 data types that we have discussed, right? So hello, string, false, 45.9. You can even have a list inside a list. I can say 2, 4, 6. So now how many members are there in this list?
5.
This is your first member, second member, third member, fourth member, and fifth member. So yes, you have 5 members, right? So this is a list with 5 members. Now, list is a great example of team, right? You retain your individual identity. You retain your individual identity, but when you are put to work in a team, you should behave together as a team, right? So each of these members together as a list has some set of properties. That's what we are going to do. Individually, they remain integer and string. They don't change its own nature. So if I say, okay, now I'm not going to spend time on indexing because it's exactly same way of indexing as we did in the string. This also has positive and negative indexing. So if I need first member, I will say print L1 of 0. If I need last member, I can say L1 of 4, right? This is what I mean when I say ordered. Okay, each of them has its own order. Okay, so this is your 0 order, 0th position. Okay, I need last one, I will say L1 of 4, or I will say L1 of -1, correct? Again, if you need to extract 2 values together, you can use colon, right? Okay, so I'm not going to spend time on that, we'll move on. So you see, L1 of 0 gave me 55, L1 of 4 gave me this entire list. I want to know the data type of L1 of 0. Type of L1. Okay, so type of L1 of 0. Type of L1 of 0 will give you integer, right? So this is how you get integer value. right? If I do L1 of type of L1 of -1 or L whatever here -1 if I say, so you get list because that is a list, isn't it? Last one, 2, 4, 6 is a list.
Good one. Swapnil, can you access the list of lists? Like, for
Of
example,
course, you can access list of lists. Now I can say here L2 equal to, okay, L1 of -1 and L1 of -1.
yeah,
So L2 equal to L1 of -1. So now what happens? L2 is your list. So if I need to know the first member of L2, I will say
that's
L2 of 0.
L2.0.
Or
Okay.
I can say, see, L1 of -1 is the list,
Yeah,
right? So this L2 is like L1 of -1, correct?
correct.
And then I'll copy and paste this here.
Oh, with the bracket again 0? Ah, it works like that. Awesome.
So you get first member of the list.
Oh, that's good. Thanks, Swapnil.
No problem. Okay. So yes, you can access each member. Now, what is the data type of L1 of -1 of 0?
That
Data
will
type
be,
of L1 of -1 is
it is a list, but within
right.
that,
But L1 of 0 will be
integer.
integer,
Oh, it goes to that. Awesome.
right? So type of L1 is okay, that L1 of -1 is list, but again, individually it is a list one, integer only.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what we saw linear. We saw order because automatically there's order associated, just like string. Okay, it's a collection we have saw. We are not saying mutable. Okay, so let's say this is not 55, this is 95. So you can say L1 of 0, okay, equal to 95. Now you print L1. So 55 is changed. This you cannot do in string.
Mutable.
You can-
Yeah, it's a mutable one.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, you can do it in rest. Okay. So yeah, and there are so indexing, I said exactly. There's no difference between the indexing that we did. We spent time there string. We don't have to spend so much of time again here, but it is done exactly the same way. Okay. Now I'll move this to different file and then come back here. Okay. Now
So
there are a couple of things which sorry, Shiv.
sorry, Sabna, I just had one question. So most of the time, I think it will be useful to use list if they have multiple classes, right? Multiple data types.
Yeah. Class is used very often. So we will see. We will be using classes more
Yeah.
than any of the
It's
collections.
powerful also. Looks like it's very powerful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sabna.
No problem. Now, so some properties which are similar to string, okay, you can use list in your for loop also. So for loop, when we did, we use range. Then we saw how to use for loop with string. Now we will use list with for loop. So I'll say for member in L1, right? So member is a variable. How many times this loop is will run? Loop will run like, length times of L1. So it will run 5 times. And I'll say print member, right? And when you run it, see, 55, hello, false. All right. So this is how you can iterate through a list. All right. Then we discussed about adding to list. So you say L1 plus L1, let's say. If you say L1 plus L1, so this is L1 and this is another L1, right? So your list became 10 times, 10 elements, 2 times. You could have also said L1 into 2 times, right? So same thing you would have got. So it's repeated 2 times, right? Very similar to how we do in a mathematics, numbers. Okay, so basic properties, and then obviously list also has its own set of properties, right? So if you say here L1 dot, you will see all these properties. Okay. What are these properties here? Count, append, copy, pop, clear, index, extend, reverse, sort, remove, insert. Not as many as string, but large enough to perform a lot of applications. Count, okay, exactly same. Okay, so I want to count how many false are there here, right? So you have 1 false. Right? You want to see how many hello is there? Obviously, you can type hello and see. Hello is a string, right? So hello should be there as it is. Right? Then pop. Okay. Pop. So I'll say L1 dot pop. Okay. So see, pop uses index. Okay. Which position you want to remove? I want to remove, let's say 45.9. Right? Remove second last member. Remove second last member irrespective of its value. So last member is -1, second last is -2. Okay. Now in this case, see one more difference. Since it's mutable, okay, L1 is impacted. Now I'm going to print L1. Okay. So I will say L1 after pop. Okay. L1 is impacted. I did not say L1 equal to L1. Unlike string was not changed, right? You have to save as a different variable every time. But here, okay, L1 itself is changed.
So the original will change, will amend.
Yes, original values will change.
And the indexing or the referencing will also get impacted, right?
Obviously. So next time when I do -2,
Yeah,
it will be false. This will go away, right? So if
yeah.
I do again -2, okay. So first 45.9 went away. Now in the second time when I do -2, it is false, which goes away, right? So this is to remove the position, right? Based on position, first position, second position, last position, or whatever, right? Then you have something to delete the element. Okay, irrespective of the position. I want to delete, okay, L1 dot remove. See, remove says value. I want to remove hello. Then you say remove value. So remove takes value. Okay, pop takes position.
Pop is a tricky one, right?
Yeah. So here, if I say hello and I say here L1 after remove, right?
Yeah.
So gone. Hello is gone. What if I make a mistake here?
Yeah.
Exit code 1 error. So first you have to check if the value is there or not. Only then you remove, right? So I'll say CNT equal to L1 dot count, okay, hello, right? And then if CNT greater than 0, right? 0 means it's not there. Greater than 0 means then you will say remove, right? Then you will say this. Otherwise, else print not in the list. So here obviously hello is not in the list. Otherwise you could have removed it. So count, pop and remove we did. We'll stop here for today. Okay, we'll continue tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll take a couple of examples and we will implement other methods.
Swapnil, I had one clarification.
Yes.
Is there any function which will just, if you want to still remove it, but the reference is still
No,
existing?
how can you remove the reference is still there? No.
Yeah.
That is replace, right? Then you replace with something.
Oh,
You replace with
and then
blank.
okay.
Then you use something like this. Where did I say L1 of 95? I think in the previous here I did, right? This is how you replace but still have a reference. But if you say remove, you're removing it, right? I can say L1 of 0 equal to blank string I can give.
Okay.
Right? So this is what you replace, right? But in this case, it's totally removing. You're removing it totally.
Got it. Yeah. Thank you.
Sure. Okay, guys. So if there are no more questions, we'll end it here. Shall we?